Welcome back, everyone. I hope you had a great time in the breakout room. I hope you asked great questions and made some connections. Our last panel showed us the importance of science and urgency behind climate change. In our next panel, we're looking forward to one of the most important vehicles of diverse talent, HBCUs. This panel will discuss how HBCUs are fighting climate change to save our planet. Joining us today are Dr. Pradeep K. Bahara, Professor, Chair, Civil Engineering Department, School of Engineering and Applied Sciences at the University of District of Columbia. And don't forget, once again, we want to hear from you. Questions are encouraged. There's the QR code on the screen. Simply scan that and submit your questions to the speaker. Make sure, again, after this talk, to meet us in the breakout rooms, where you can interact with the panelists and ask questions to the speakers and attendees.
Thank you, Sterling. Good afternoon, everybody. This is Pradeep Behera from University of the District of Columbia. I have a small presentation. Yeah. Okay. You can see that? Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'm myself, Pradeep Behera. I'm the professor and chair of Civil Engineering Department at the School of Engineering and Applied Sciences at the University of the District of Columbia. I'm going to talk about, what are the UDC contributions in fighting climate change and advancing urban resilience, environmental inequity to address the climate change. As you know, our UDC, University of District of Columbia, is an urban land grant university approved in 1862, and it is a unique urban nation's only non-urban land grant university, which offers unique programs in offering multiple entry, providing workforce training to professional certifications, and also associate degree to graduate degree, including bachelor's, master's, and PhD, and law degree. And our university located in Washington, D.C., our main campus is Van Ness, along with several campuses in Washington, D.C. UDC has several colleges. It is comprising of 6 units. It's College of Arts and Sciences, School of Engineering and Applied Sciences, School of Business and Public Administrations, David S. Clark School of Law, and we have community colleges. Our newest college is College of Agriculture, Urban Sustainability, and Environmental Sciences. Our new colleges are mainly involved in sustainability and climate change issues. Before we look at the UDC contributions to the climate change, let's look at what is happening to our climate at local and global scale. Let me start with world populations. What happened, when we reached 1 billion people, world populations? We don't know the exact year when we reached 1 billion people, but we know roughly around between 1800 to 1900, world population reached 1 billion. And from 1 billion to 2 billion, it took 127 years. From 2 billion to 3 billion, it took 33 years. After that, actually, on an average, 12 to 13 years, we are adding 1 billion people. And right now, we are roughly 7.4 to 7.5 billion people in the world. And it is expected, and it is growing. You can see the curve, it is growing very rapidly. If you notice, around 1850, it started picking up. And since 1950, the world population is rising very rapidly. And we add 2.5 people every second right now. So when world population increases, urbanization takes place, urban development takes place. This is throughout the world. In 1900, 2 out of every 10 people used to live in urban areas. By 2010, now 5 out of 10 are living in the urban areas. By 2050, it will be 7 out of 10 people will live in urban areas. So you can see the curve in the left-hand side. It is from 1950 that urban population is increasing steadily, whereas rural population is decreasing gradually. And if you see the left-hand side, you look at the two cities, Shanghai and Dubai. You look at the skylines in 1990 and 2015. It is completely different. In 25 years, a lot of urbanization has taken place in these two cities. And if you look at the world map, and there are a lot of hundreds of cities to metropolitan cities actually increasing populations very rapidly. So population growth comes with urbanizations, and with urbanizations, we have different issues we'll discuss as we move forward. Now let's look at my colleague in my department, Dr. Hicks. We plotted actually a population density of northeastern area from Washington, D.C. to Boston actually. Look at the footprint in 1900 and 1950 at 2000. So how this population density has increased. And population density comes with the urbanizations and urban development primarily. Now, when population growth increases, also our middle class lifestyles, also aspirations, right? So it comes with a lot of resource consumptions, which needs to meet the demands of the society. The industrializations took place also very rapidly. Now, if we plot a graph between 1950s to 2050, around 1950, only we had around 800 million people used to be living in developed countries, generally with middle-class lifestyles, which are United States, Canada, Europe. But right now, what is happening, worldwide middle-class lifestyle is changing. So when we are actually right now more than 1 billion people are in middle class, which is primarily coming from the India, China, Brazil, Nigeria, and many parts of the world. So it comes with resource consumptions. And to meet the resource consumptions, we need industrializations. So with this, now we see that population growth, urbanizations, and industrializations. So we need energy. So the burning fossil fuels to meet our demands, actually we are increasing our carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. By burning, to get our energy, primary sources, burning coal, oil, or natural gas, we humans are warming the planet. So now we saw the population growth too, our energy needs, and next to see what is happening to our global temperature. Since 1980s, scientists have kept thermometer-based records to measure the global surface temperature. If you can see that, our planet is getting warmer and warmer. And since 1950s onwards, it is steadily it is increasing. And when our planet becoming warmer, the long-term weather pattern is also changing, which is climate change at the different scales, at local scale as well as global scales. You can see the land and oceanic surface temperature is also increasing trend. And also with that, we can see as temperature increases, our carbon dioxide also increases steadily, right? That's how the global warming taking place, and which is affecting the climate. So you can see that's 1980 to 2019, it is steady increase of carbon dioxide and also as well as the temperature. Now at the local scale, this is from the Climate Central. in Philadelphia, we can see the temperature on an around 1950s is 30-year temperature average. It is around 54 or 55 degrees. Now within 30 years, it has already increased by 2 degrees at a local scale for one city, Philadelphia. So when temperature increases, a small change in average also gives big change in extremes. Extreme means extreme climates, extreme heats, extreme events. That's also occurring. Now, we have, as you know, over last many years, we are breaking the records, monthly records of temperature, heat, and sometimes also rainfall, right? So records are set by decades. It is also, there is a change of extreme events occurring, not only in the precipitations, but also in the snow melt, snowfall. So snowfall patterns also changing regionally with the seasons. And with the global warming, actually, we are having our oceans are heating up, as well as we are having melting of Arctic and Antarctic, and leads to sea level rise. You can see that our data shows that there is a constant increase of higher tides and more floods. So warmer airs comes with more evaporations and also more precipitations. More precipitations leads to more downpours, and there is a big change of rainfall patterns throughout the United States, which can be seen in this graph. Now, climate change matters, right? So temperature increases leads to sea level rise, increase in precipitation, and which has impact on all of our different sectors: health sectors, agriculture sectors, forest, and particularly water resources, which is very important. Water is life. And our coastal communities due to sea level rise, then our biosphere. So we have to look at it from the climate process drivers, which is basically, because of the population growth, we have greenhouse gases, which increased the temperature changes. So there is a precipitation change, sea level change, and extreme events is occurring. So it has impacts on every aspect of food security, settlement and society, human health, water resources. So this is what we are having, the climate change, right? Long-term weather pattern at a local scale or global scale is changing. Now, if we maintain in the same path, if our carbon dioxide primarily, which is carbon dioxide, which affects our temperature, let's look at if we know that carbon dioxide affects the temperatures, so we can use the knowledge to look at the future. Our climate scientists use sophisticated computer models to predict how Earth will be responding to rising carbon dioxide. The earlier version of these models from 1980s have predicted our recent warming. And this models primarily tells us two things. From the future carbon dioxide emissions, lots of carbon dioxide emissions will lead to lots of warming. If we reduce our carbon dioxide emissions, our temperature might stabilize. So that's why we are talking about 1.5 degree target. So with this climate change, now as a historical Black College University, HBCU at UDC, is a part of solution providers to climate change at district, regional, national, and global levels. UDC is engaged in a variety of ways. We are developing academic and research programs to address climate change related issues. Over the last many years, we have infused sustainability concepts into our curricular academic programs, and we have spent time in developing research programs to address green infrastructure and sustainability. Primarily, will address the climate change. And also, we are advancing in urban agriculture. Being located in Washington, D.C., urban agriculture is a most important thing to increase our sustainability. And also, we are focusing on research in the areas of water and energy nexus, water, energy, and food nexus. And we are trying to develop the analytical tools for urban stormwater infrastructure design, as well as protection of coastal community from the sea level rise. And we are creating different centers for sustainable development and urban resilience. And we are incorporating sustainability concepts to science and engineering programs. And we have created new graduate programs. For example, professional science masters in urban sustainability, professional science masters in urban agriculture, professional science masters in water resources management. These are new programs included in our graduate programs. And also, we are working on research programs that prepare the future generation of students, those who can contribute to the as a solution provider to climate change. We are also engaging in a community level from middle school to high school level to address our climate change. So pretty much in summary, UDC is engaged in making the next generation of students who are prepared to address climate change related issues for the society. Now let's look at there are certain issues where our research is more relevant. As we know, when urbanization takes place, right, we are removing a lot of pervious area and converting to impervious area through urban development. So when we through urban development, urbanization takes place, and urbanization leads to more stormwater runoff during the rainfall events, which is also impacts on water quantity problems such as flooding and erosion to our nearest receiving waters, and also quality problems, water quality pollutions from the anthropogenic activities from the urban areas, right? Now, in the climate change scenarios, when there is more extreme events are occurring, so flooding needs to be addressed. So we need to address, so we have to remove our impervious areas to make more pervious areas so that we can mimic the natural systems. That's one of the areas we are contributing. Another area, for example, when temperature increases and in the impervious areas, particularly urban landscape, we have heat island effect and also increased energy consumptions, elevated emission of air pollutants, which can compromise the human health and comfort, and which will ultimately impair our water quality. So we have to address these issues at the urban scales. Now, if we convert our impervious areas to pervious areas, and it can be converted to agricultural production, then it will be more win-win situations. So UDC is contributing through our College of Agriculture, Urban Sustainability and Environmental Science. That's the college is dedicated for urban agriculture systems. We are engaged in food production, food preparations, food distributions, water and wastewater delivery, recovery. So in the areas of food productions and urban agriculture and green infrastructure, we are engaged in designing and implementing and assisting DC area, District of Columbia, in bio-intensive systems, raised bed gardens, hydroponic systems, aquaponic systems, green roof systems. Basically, hydroponic and aquaponic are in the research stage and also implementation stage. And we have urban food hub concepts. Actually, we have, as I said, it's a food productions to food preparations food distributions and waste and water recovery, we have several urban food hub locations located throughout the District of Columbia in different wards. And I'll talk about that in next. For example, these are the East Capital Urban Farm in Ward 7. You can see that communities engaged in the urban farm, from the food productions to food distributions. Let's look at the another site. It's P.R. Harris Food Hub, how communities engaged in the same way food agricultural productions to food production. Now, at the Venice campus, actually, we have research in the developing high efficiency urban agriculture systems. These are the laboratories where we experiment how we can develop the food agricultural in a limited areas, agricultural crops in the limited areas. Now, same thing, Venice campus food hubs, where is communities engaged, not only including our university students, faculty members, as well as community members. This is again urban agriculture and green infrastructure at the East Capital Urban Farm, Ward 7, which includes both development of green infrastructure and urban agriculture. When we develop the systems hubs in different wards, our students, middle schools and high school students, they come and learn. So that's STEM learning also taking place through these hubs. And there are some elements of urban agriculture. For example, raised beds, markets, aquaponics, food trucks, hoop houses, green infrastructure, natural play space, and these are distributed throughout the district, DC area. And primarily our causes is involved. And if you are interested, you can reach out through the website, and these are all explained in our UDC website. And also we are engaged in environmental justice program, primarily job training through workforce development programs in the green infrastructure areas. So this is primary contributions so that the next generation of workforce can be prepared to address the climate change. We also offer green infrastructure technical training certifications, such as green infrastructure design, green infrastructure constructions and implementations, that you can take certain courses to get the certificate, and also you can be employed as a green infrastructure technicians. We have through our DC business incubator kitchens also, we are offering training programs for the communities. As well as also we have our UDC causes SEF as teaching high school students. This is also related to community engagement. Our President Mason has a new initiatives, and also UDC is completely engaged in the DAWN initiative. It's called Developing America's Workforce Nucleus initiatives. It has three-pronged initiatives, which includes a college to career equity academy, which collaborate with the District of Columbia Public School System, DCPS, and Department of Energy and Environment. In this, we are trying to find out a holistic approach to public educations, and we are rethinking undergraduate educations for the STEM workforce, so that the students can have different pathways from the high school to the college through workforce development, associate degree, bachelor's degree to graduate degrees. And we have established a Catherine Johnson's Teacher Training Institute, which is primarily responsible for professional development to classroom teachers. Collaborate with the DCPS, KIP TC, and Southern Initiative Algebra projects. We have initiated another Thurgood Marshall Strengths Summer Enrichment Program, which involves in intensive skills enhancement experience for school students, and we collaborate through Thurgood Marshall College Fronts. So this is our DAWNS initiatives. This is also related to climate change, because we are working with Anacostia High School, which is located in Ward 8. With Anacostia High School, this is the living laboratory where we have established solar panels, and we have aquaponic systems, hydroponic systems, and we're working with the Anacostia High School to create the pathways coming to different programs, either through the certificate programs or through associate degree programs or through bachelor's degree programs. Now I will talk about there are some research programs which are involved in food, energy, water nexus, triple lead projects with different external funding agencies. This project actually for the integrating production to meet demands and reduce carbon land use competitions from USDA. Similarly, we have projects for renewable energy, solar energy, urban agriculture, stormwater greenhouse systems. We have other research projects which integrate food production with solar energy production and rainwater harvesting system. Pretty much we are developing the optimizations of how optimally we can develop the system where we can produce more food while optimizing all three energy, solar energy, while utilizing solar energy, rainwater and harvesting systems. So this is another project actually involved. This is another project with developing the recommendations for solar angles to optimize solar energy productions, specifically crop productions and rainwater collections in one systems for the DC regions actually. And also this involves life cycle cost analysis to help determine the feasibility of urban implementation. So we looked at the urban agriculture, our involvement in urban agriculture and green infrastructures. Now, we also involved in the infusing sustainability concepts into our educational goals, which will help to enhance the awareness and reform in science and engineering decision-making related to societal issues such as built environment, energy sources, environmental quality. This is primarily climate change related issues. And also it will provide the students with understanding of basic principles and skills related to chemistry, biology, environmental science, so that we can address the climate change related issues. So sustainability, incorporating sustainability concept to science engineering helps our future generation of students to address the climate change. Now we'll talk about certain contributions from the School of Engineering and Applied Sciences. This is related to climate change. As we know, climate change primarily affects the water resource management, water availability, flood risk, water quality, ecosystems and coastal areas, hydropower energy, water infrastructures. So what we can do, how we can help our water resource professional engineers to design better systems of engineered systems. What do you mean by engineered systems? It means, let's say let me give you an example of let's say culvert, right? It's an engineered system. It's interactions between transportation system and a water body. So when we design our hydraulic structures or engineered systems such as urban stormwater management systems, we use climate as key input, means precipitation is key input. But till now, our existing infrastructures are designed based on climate stationarity. That means that climate in the local scale do not change. So whatever values we used in designing the existing infrastructure, that will do not change. But in last 2 decades, we realized that climate is changing, right? When climate is changing, how do we design the existing systems much in differently so that the existing infrastructure and future infrastructure can be designed in a better way, right? For that, actually, I'm involved in this actually development of storm event analysis tool. That is, how do we include the hourly rainfall data as a key input to the designing of the system for designing of urban infrastructure design, like such as low impact development systems or the drainage systems or the hydraulic systems. So this tool again, we are developing this tool to assist our engineering and professionals for better design the engineered systems. Recently, we have been engaged our Department of Civil Engineering as well as Computer Science. We recently we received this grant to enhance our research capability and educational infrastructure in climate change impact analysis for critical infrastructure systems protections using game theory. My colleague, Dr. Hicks, will lead this project, and we have faculties from computer science and civil engineering will be involved. And this center will create this center called Climate and Change Analytics at UTC. The center aims to create an important educational and research platform that will train undergraduate and graduate students to become diverse next generation leaders in workforce and government and beyond to address emergency contemporary issues of climate change. The research of the center aims to advance our basic understanding of the impact of climate change on coastal communities and urban infrastructures through using the game theory. There is a big opportunity to work as a research assistant in undergraduate and graduate students, and we are looking for 4 doctoral students, funding for 4 doctoral students for this grant. And let me introduce at this point, we have at School of Engineering and Applied Sciences, we have ABET accredited program in civil engineering, biomedical engineering, mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, and computer science. And we have also programs in cybersecurity and IT. And we have master's program in all of these majors. And we have doctorate program in computer science and engineering programs. The students, those who are interested to address climate change, is the best pathway to come to engineering and computer science also to engage and to find the solutions for these climate change issues. And we have my colleague, Dr. Azam, has received a new grant on integrating water, energy, food, climate nexus for undergraduate and science educations. And this grant actually involves in the 3 colleges, School of Engineering, colleges, College of Agriculture and Urban Sustainability, and also CAS, faculty from the CAS. And the goal of this project is to develop, implement a multi-layered, innovative and model to engage undergraduate students and train next generation workforce in civil engineering and other science, technology, engineering, mathematics majors, giving exposures to for research and outreach activities on water, energy, food, and climate nexus. So again, there is an opportunity for research assistants for undergraduate and graduate students. We have received another grant actually to accelerate our multidisciplinary research, education, and training capability. This is from DoD. Actually, it is a capacity building grant, which will be led by Dr. Azam. Again, with this grant also, we will be able to help finding the solutions from climate change. And in addition to these recent grants, we have at School of Engineering Applied Science, we have different centers which are involved either directly or indirectly climate change related research. And some of this research you can see in our UDC website, and Center of Excellence for Renewable Energy, which offers solutions through research, innovations, analysis, and partners and people. It provides hands-on experience in building innovative renewable energy systems to serve urgent national and international needs for electric service, to electrify remote, off-grid, and as well as grid-connected areas. Our program director, Amir Saranya. So similarly, all these grants are available. You can see in the website. You have Center of Excellence for Acoustic and Seismic Sensing and for Urban Environment. We have Center for Biomechanical and Rehabilitation Engineering Center. We have NASA-funded Miro Center for Advanced Manufacturing in Space Technologies and Applied Research at UDC. These are they also involved in climate change related research. We have a Center for Assistive Rehabilitation Research. We have a SEAS Research Center. We have NSF-funded CREST Center for Nanotechnologies Research and Education Center. We have Additive Manufacturing Post-Processing Partnership. And also we have NIST Prep Professional Research Science Program. These centers also help in climate change related issues and training. This is pretty much in my last size. We have a strategic plan, equity imperative strategic plan for our student circle, urban student success. So UDC, our mission is to improve quality of life and economic opportunities for the people and communities of the District of Columbia, the nations, and the world. And we believe that opportunities, our top of the objective is to attract more DC public high school students in order to build the stronger pipeline and newer applicants among the high school graduates seeking college degrees and the contemporary which will address the contemporary issues such as climate change. With this, I will stop it here and thank you for your attention. And if you have any questions and comments, I'm looking forward to discuss with you.
Dr. Pradeep, I want to thank you for coming through and really providing us with a lot of information on the projects that UDC, the School of Engineering, is really working on some amazing things that can really help us combat and tackle this climate change and this climate situation that we're in. And so we really appreciate you. To all the young people who are out there, I just want to reiterate it and just make sure you know that if you're interested in this topic, if you're interested in studying this, please go and visit the UDC School of Engineering page for resources and follow up because we need people like you and we need people that can really help us turn this situation around. Dr. Pradeep, I want to thank you for joining us, and we'll be in touch soon, sir.
Sure.
Yes. To everybody else, I do want to apologize because I know that this session was scheduled to go a little bit longer to about 2:10. We had an emergency situation come up with our other panelists who would have shared some information from University of Maryland Eastern Shore. So I do want to encourage you to also check out their website for opportunities that they have. What we are going to do is we're going to put a special presentation into the playlist. So if you're in the STEM City Metaverse, go to the Welcome Center, pull down the playlist, and we'll have a special presentation from some folks you might actually recognize. Dr. Pradeep, it was a UDC panel from this past Bay session. They were talking about agricultural opportunities that are happening. And so that's a really cool session. We would have played it for you, but you won't get to the end. So I don't want to cut you off, but we will have it there for you. What we are going to say is that our next session is on clean energy solutions, and that's starting at 2:30. So be sure to join us, to come back, join us at 2:30, take a break, run to the bathroom, maybe grab a bite to eat. And we hope to see you right back here at 2:30 for our clean energy solutions session. See you soon.